Hey all, for my movie review this week, I'm so excited to review a Western film called The Heart of the Gun. This is a film that's a part of Travis Mills' 12 Westerns in 12 months, and I absolutely loved watching this Western. I'll tell you all about it. I've had the opportunity to talk with Travis about some of his projects in the past, and what I can tell is he has an amazing attention to detail, and that really is communicated on the screen. From the different outfits everyone's wearing to the different types of hat each character has, it fits perfectly with their role in that society back then and with their personality. The main character, in my opinion, is the quintessential Rough Rider cowboy. He's got the big beard, huge hat, and just looks exactly the part. From the very first scene, this film just draws you in and helps you feel this sense of desperateness and helplessness as the main character finds a woman after an Apache attack. The whole film, especially with the way that the music was used, helped create this sense of terror, this sense of panic, that at any moment anyone could jump out and hurt them. Not only that, but I love the realism of the gunshots, of the horseback riding, and also really the realism of that scalping. If you take a look at the villain who was scalped, who's actually played by Travis Mills, you'll see the attention to detail that they put on his head. Well, here's a picture of a real scalping. As you can see, I know it's kind of hard to look at, but it's very, very accurate. And it's something that happened a ton in the Wild West. I absolutely loved hearing this story because Westerns aren't really in style anymore. A lot of the time, people like to watch films about the future because we're so excited about the future and technology. And that's great, but sometimes it's really cool to look at our past. And it's cool to see a rough cowboy come in and protect themselves and the ones that they love. And that's what happens in this film. We're dealing with a really rough guy who's lost his wife, and he's searching for his wife. He's not perfect, but he does find a woman, and he ends up protecting her through several different tribulations. It's really cool to see how their relationship develops. I won't give anything away here in terms of the ending, but there was a really cool twist ending as well that I thought was really uniquely done. Something else I really loved about the film is that it didn't just meet a regular plot storyline with one villain who goes throughout the film trying to hurt the protagonist and kill the protagonist. There were actually two villains in this film. It was cool to see in the first part of the film it was a really rough coal miner guy who was an outlaw, and then it actually switched to the law. It switched to someone who was coming after the main character because he had deserted the Union Army. It was cool to see that parallelism of someone who was out the outskirts, who had been scalped, who was a really evil and terrible person, versus a different antagonist who, by all accounts, seemed to be a very good man, a man who believed in responsibility, who believed in patriotism, but who still played an antagonist in this film. And it was cool to see the difference there. I also loved the fact that they didn't have the two antagonists working together or have both of them throughout the entire film. It was cool to see one killed off in the middle and the other one continuing on. The main thing I loved about this film was the redemption theme. I like the name The Heart of the Gun, but quite frankly, this film could have also been called just Redemption, because it was about this woman who had made a lot of terrible decisions in her life and had gotten in a lot of trouble to the point that she had been scarred and slashed with knives, and she found a way to come to redemption with her husband, to come to redemption with her life in the end of the film. You can see throughout the film this panic grasping that she had every time she had the opportunity to redeem herself, to make it right in any way possible. And what I liked about it is that she didn't give any defense for her action. She knew she was wrong, and she did whatever she could to find reconciliation with those she had wronged. And you do see that there at the end. I thought this was just a really amazing film that not only was accurate, not only was thrilling and quite terrifying, to be honest with you, but it also really showed the human experience of someone trying to make the best with what they've done, trying to make their wrongs right. I gotta say, I'm a fan of Westerns, and Heart of the Gun was an amazing Western to watch. I highly recommend. You can go to Amazon Prime and watch it. I couldn't find anything wrong with this film. It was just a pleasure to watch it. So for that reason, it'll be my first film I'm reviewing that receives a 5 out of 5 stars. Go and watch The Heart of the Gun.